Hey guys, Dan Heilman back with another Watch Our Realms video. This is going to be a really quick one about Arena. There's a tip that, well, really there's a bug in Arena, and I want to tell you about it and how to get around it. So there's a huge bug in Arena right now. It's been going on since this game has been out, as far as I'm aware. Basically what happens is you get a tie in the second round, and you won't know why, because you killed your enemy, possibly, and then the enemy didn't, and it says tie randomly. Let me see if I can recreate this. So let me just put some who was the other person I was putting in here? Who was the other person? Probably someone with just some really high power. Let me just throw in someone to make my team BP higher. So Arena does factor in your BP. So when you have a very high BP, that means the enemies are harder to kill. Okay, so let me kind of show you what I'm talking about here. And let me see if I can get the bug to happen yet again. Alright, so normally you're going to place your first hero. I was getting really annoyed because I was like really losing basically every single arena battle. And I'll show you all because of this bug. And I'll kind of show you what happens here. So normally I put my hat up here. My hat suit. And then I use her ultimate about right here so I can hit everyone. And then what I would normally do was I would place my next hero right here. And okay, boom, I won the first round. Let's see if I can even recreate this. I doubt I'm going to be able to recreate it, but we'll see. I hope I can. I wish I would have recorded it earlier while I was coming through this bug. Okay, so now the second one, a lot of people will start slowing this enemy, right? So it doesn't get there as fast. But if you don't want to do that, what you can do is just try to DPS it as fast as you can. If you do not kill it in time, you'll get a tie. So if you see a tie, it does not mean that... Okay, the enemy's going to kill it first. Damn it. Okay. Okay, I barely killed it in time. I barely killed it in time. So the bug is if the timer runs out, the enemy on the left-hand side will basically fall down and die, but the enemy on the right-hand side will still be standing, and it'll say tie. And you're like, that's weird. I killed my enemy, but he did not kill his enemy. This happened to me like 50 times in a row, and I was like, what is freaking happening? I lost every single fight, and I was like, why is this happening to me? And it's a visual bug. The enemy's mob that spawns, does not despawn. Only on the left side, the enemy will despawn, okay? So on my side, this enemy will, when it basically dies or times out, it'll fall over. The one on the right-hand side will not. So it looks as if you killed yours and he did not, but that's not the case. You actually tied, they both died, but his is bugged out, okay? So, all right, you saw that. I lost that round. Now, let me show you kind of a huge tip that helped me basically win every single round since. So now what I'm doing instead is I'm first of all removing strong heroes. I mean, you can literally, I could probably just run like these three, for example, and beat it, but I can also put her in just for a slow because she doesn't have a lot of BP. You can see she only has 15,000 BP compared to some of my other heroes who have like 60 or 70. That means it's going to make the enemies easier to kill, right? So now if I hit start, we're going to just redo the same thing, except for I'm going to do the same placement, except for I'm just going to do a very slightly different placement. Or different hero, I should say, and we're going to add Mari in to the mix, okay? So now, very first thing, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to put her right there. I'm going to wait for all the enemies to be in range. And then we're going to use this right now. We're going to clear a lot of these out. And then what we're going to do is we're going to place my... my Silas right there. We're going to finish those out, and boom. We beat the first wave. Beautiful. Okay. Now what we're going to do is we're going to wait for the enemy to get kind of close. As soon as my allies are able to attack right now, I'm going to put in her and I'm going to slow. Okay, so now I'm going to slow. I took a little bit less damage because he's slowed and he's not able to get as many attacks off because he has to be in a certain range to be able to attack. And now I'm going to put in my last one. And we're still might going to lose because whoever he has some beastly damage. Oh, no, I don't think so. Okay, so there you go. Okay, you see how it said tied? Okay, I recreated it. Okay, you see how my enemy died and his enemy did not, even though we tied? That's because there's an internal timer inside here that is not shown. It's totally hidden. So that is totally a visual bug. It is not true. Neither of us killed either of our enemies, but it showed the death animation. Oh, I should probably use ultimates and paying attention because I am now, I'm not on auto anymore, but I kind of want to just talk about it. Okay, so you can see there. Oh, I lost because I literally was talking to you guys. Okay, anyways, I won that round. Fucking crushed him. All I did was take out one team. So you saw that, right? I had a death animation on my little weird ghost-looking dude, and he did not, okay? Even though we tied, right? So it's a visual bug. It's not true. You may think that you killed your enemy, but you didn't. You ran out of time. There's an imaginary timer that they hide for some reason. I don't know why they wouldn't show you the timer. I mean, that's kind of important information to show. So I beat this guy, really crushed him, but I forgot to use my ultimates on my heroes, so I lost. But that was a perfect kind of example of what I'm talking about, right? You can reduce your BP, and then it makes it much easier for you to beat people, and it kind of removes that bug, right? Because that bug, it says the enemy didn't kill theirs, and you killed yours, but that's just totally a visual bug that is not true at all. So you kind of got to pay attention, right? I really hope they fix that. I'm gonna submit this video to them as a bug report to hope that they can fix that, because it's really, really misleading, right? Because I was literally going crazy in Discord earlier, and I was like, how come no matter what I do on round 2, I get a tie? Even if I kill all the enemies, I still get a tie. That's because there's some hidden timer that they hide from you. So that is the only reason why that mob is despawning. It's not because you killed it, right? So it's kind of weird. Let's see if we can recreate it one more time here. I'll kind of show you, and I'll actually pay attention and use my ultimate so I can actually win this battle here. Okay, so here's the round 2. This enemy has a crazy amount of HP. That's why you basically always end up in a tie for this round. So again, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna wait till that's there. I'm gonna do that. Now I'm gonna use the ultimate here. We're gonna use. I'm gonna save that ultimate for the next wave because there's a lot of different enemies there. Okay, so you can see I actually won that. I might have tied that normally. If I had higher BP, because that gives the enemies, the actual mobs here that spawn, it gives them a lot more HP and defense or something. It makes them more tanky, right? So the lower BP you have, the better. It really is that way. So now I can throw another doodle in there. Everyone can attack pretty much. So now we'll use the freeze because they're all in range here. There we go. You can finish that off and boom, boom, boom. Okay. So you can see I won that one because I killed all the enemies. And then the enemies turn into a red ball. Now with that visual bug, you may look like you killed your enemy and the enemy did not. It's kind of weird because there's multiple enemies, right? You got, I guess, your opponent, right? You might kill the enemy on your side, and it may look like your opponent didn't kill it. But that is, in fact, what happened. So I was freaking out for a while. This is a huge visual bug. I think it's been in the game for quite some time. But it definitely causes a lot of confusion because I was like, no matter what team I use, I would tie the second round. And I just happened to be tying when the enemy hit 0%. So I thought I was killing my enemy and it was falling over dead. And then my opponent, their enemy was still standing. So I was like, I killed my enemy. They did not. How come it's a tie? And I was freaking out forever. But now that I realized that there's a hidden timer for each one of these rounds that they hide from us for some reason, now I realize why the tie was happening. So I hope this helps. So kind of 2 tips. Just make sure that you know that there is an internal timer. If the enemy falls over, it may not be that you killed it. It may just be that you tied. And then the second tip is try to lower your BP. There's a reason why people are using all purple heroes that are 5-star in here. There's a reason. You can see because it lowers their BP. So a lot of times I could just go in here and I could just use like 2 or 3 heroes. If you look at my defense from before, you see I don't even use 5 heroes a lot because it just lowers my BP, and basically it just allows me to deal more damage to the enemies because they have lower defenses. So, okay, that's it for the video, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, hit the like and the subscribe button. Have a great time. Have a great day. Whatever I normally say. That's it for the video. Hit that like and sub. See you guys.